Hey, are we just gonna start right now? You want me to count down?
Yeah, go for it. I'm ready.
Alrighty. Hey everybody, my name is ChuckGrody. I'm running Colonel's Bequest, Lower Bow Mystery, the Super Sleuth, which is the titular 100% category for this game. And there's a lot to go through with this game in a short amount of time. I'll try to do my commentary best I can. This would have been much better with someone else, but I didn't really have anybody, so we'll just make it work. And time's going to be on restart. So I'm going to count down at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So this is Colonel's Bequest. Um, like I said, games takes place in 1925. Hang on. Gotta make sure right there the game can actually soft lock, so I gotta make sure she's completely stopped. Um, it takes place in 1925 where you're playing this girl named Laura Bow, as the name implies. She's asked by her friend Lillian Prune to accompany her to her uncle's decaying sugar plantation in Louisiana on an island and bear will to his final will and testament, as well as with her relatives, his doctor, his lawyer, and the help that work on the in the mansion here. During the will and reading of the will and testament, everyone gets all heated because it's what families do. Almost close to Thanksgiving after all. And in that time, everyone gets sent to their rooms, and Laura starts thinking, you know what? Something's not quite, what it seems to be. Thanks for the follow. um, so she starts investigating things, and essentially what starts happening is, she wants what we're doing here and what she's doing is that she's trying to get, people's motivations. What are they here for? What are they here? Do they actually care about the colonel? Do they want this or that? Et cetera, et cetera. It starts getting a bit more complicated than that because, well, people start disappearing. They're all stuck on this island. There's nowhere they can go. Where are they going? Well, like I mentioned, this is a murder mystery game, so essentially, someone or multiple people, we don't know till later on in the game, is killing them. People are dying, and it's not knowing who. There is this shadowy figure that we saw walking around on the veranda on the beginning of Act Two, but well, we'll find out about that. Anyways, this game, as far as like the game itself, and the speed run's pretty no frills. There's a few things that are interesting of how I can manipulate it, but for the most part, it's just all execution based. There's a few RNG instances here and there. I'll get into the details of that in a second. Um, for the most part, it's just all execution based. It runs on the SCI Zero engine, which allows me to give me a sec. Allows me to do a few things like mostly with the text parser right here. So the game reads like nouns and pronouns and stuff like that, but it reads them in a certain way. The nouns you can stack, so you can do like open door. Then if I wanted to, I could open like a box or something. Pronouns, I could say if I open the door and I want to use that door for something, even though that doesn't make any sense, I can always type like it. It's just a nice little handy things like that save time throughout the run. Um, oh, here's our first bit of here's our first body and first bit of RNG. The bodies are always put in some one of two random locations, and it's a crapshoot as to which one it's going to be. So it's what it is for the most part. Okay, I need to go here. Yeah, there's also two other items that I need to find that are also in RNG locations, usually in the secret passages that we saw. So primarily, the bodies that we're going to be finding, aside from one, all hang on. Okay, I gotta do this. They all have some kind of item on them that we need. Now you would think for 100%, um, run, we would need to find all the bodies, ask people just every single question, all this stuff, but that's not necessarily how it goes because the 100% is defined by the notebook that we're going to see at the end of the game. This is also RNG right here. We need the elevator to be right here in the room, which takes a fair bit of time. Fortunately, it's not that bad right here. Um, whoops, elevator up. So everything I'm doing is just to fill out the notebook. I'm not entirely sure if you can actually look at the notebook right here and see stuff that you're missing necessarily, but we'll see. Yeah, like I said, people are doing stuff. They all have their motivations. They all have their hunches. They're all just kind of going about their business, how they um, are doing it. I had to think there for a second. uh, Mask, open it. There we go. And, you know, slowly but sure, they're all dying. Anyways, what I'm going to be doing right here is looking at a few items with the monocle. The monocle is essentially the most important item in the game because it's our de facto, you know, uh, magnifying glass. There's Gertie, who's one of the colonel's sister who died and got pushed out of her window that we saw very, very, very briefly in the beginning of Act 2. We also just ran across Ethel right there. You saw like right in the beginning of the game, I went into the other room and talked to Ethel. It's because she's an alcoholic, and anytime after Act 1, she is just wandering around drunk. You can't talk to her. We also saw the help kiss each other. That's an important thing because we need to see what people are romantically involved. You know, it's all different motivations. And right here we see that the two boys right here, Rudy and Clarence. Clarence on the right, Rudy on the left, have a bit of a quarrel going about with them. They really like each other. Just picking up more stuff. Got a boot print right there. One thing that I am doing is I'm holding enter as I walk. For some reason in this game, they thought it pertinent to really, really try to flesh out the setting. And so as a result, what happens is that every single time you go to a new room or a new locate, just a new screen, I should say, there's this text box that pops up and just gets in the way. Come on, get the butt. It's right there. You gotta go show her butt to Fifi the maid real quick. Here's a little Easter egg that you can do. Yeah, and no, you cannot open it when she's fully unclothed. So we're brought here with our friend Lillian, and Lillian's this girl in blue right here that you're gonna see. She's not really the most stable girl. She has kind of the delusion that the colonel sees her as something more special than anyone else, but right there in that conversation, the colonel actually just straight up tells her, I'm gonna say because I could fall off of the balcony right there or the upstairs. And as a result of that, she's kind of, well, she's got this weird delusion about her. And unfortunately, yeah, he just kind of blasted that out of the way. I don't think she's going to have any problems, though. I think she'll understand. Um, so I just fed the parrot there 2 crackers. That's necessary for the 100%. Normally, the parrot pretty much just acts like a hint system because he hears stuff. So now we're into Act 7, which is kind of the lead up to the climax. Because as it is right now, 7 people have died. Get crank. Forgot about that. And now we're going to see our perfectly stable friend Lillian sitting here shaking and screaming at dolls in her dollhouse. I'm sure she's fine though. It's a bit of RNG right here. A little time save I could get if the elevator is in the down position. Anyways, we're gonna keep going here, and well, Clarence was here writing in his book, And now there's blood on the floor with a table or with a chair knocked over. I'm sure he's fine, right? He's got to be fine. Ah, Rudy's looking around Lillian's room. I don't think he has any type of suspicions or anything. Read it. Gotta read it. Look at her diary. I know it's rude, but you know what? She's been acting awfully weird. Okay, bad RNG. This is one of the places that we can find Clarence because I'll just spoil it. He's dead. Also, I realized that I just missed something. So this isn't going to be full 100%. I can keep playing it though. Sorry about that. Uh, yeah. Too busy talking. I forgot if I looked at this bottle too. Things are just kind of mixing around real quick. So yeah, unfortunately this is botched. I apologize for that. I forgot to look at Fifi's body in the upstairs, and therefore I'm going to miss 2 points. This is why this would be so much easier with a second commentator. But anyways, there's a subplot here where there's a okay, let's just make sure, because if I don't do that, if I don't light the lantern and it doesn't go through, I will die as soon as I go down. Anyway, I'll go to that anyway. So all the bodies have been disappearing, and we don't know where they are, but there's these laundry chutes all around the house, and well, someone's been tossing them down them. We won't worry about that. So anyways, there's a subplot of like a hidden treasure that was put here by the previous owners of or maybe I think it's the previous owners of the sugar plantation where they were around during the Civil War. So they hid a patch of jewels inside this mausoleum, and now we have them. And here's another one pertaining to that, where there's this Bible underneath a board right there. So Act A, this is the final act. Unfortunately, our friend Lillian turns out to be the person that was killing everybody. She got into a fight with Rudy over here, and now he was obviously stronger and more. He was ready for her essentially, so he killed her. Fortunately for her, but given that she was murdering anybody, you can't really feel bad for her. Important thing to not miss here is the bag being open. Whoops. Actually, you know what? I could save something. I guess it doesn't matter. And right now, Rudy is fighting with the Colonel right here, and we're going to shoot Rudy. That's time. So the Colonel right here will explain the rest of the story, being that Lillian, essentially what I said before, had this weird delusion that the Colonel meant more, that she meant more to the Colonel, therefore she had a special favor. When he explained that to her, she went to her friends and he started killing everyone else on the island. The idea of probably killing the Colonel and herself at the end of it. Rudy has his suspicions. He was investigating himself. He caught wind of it. He met her in the hedge garden. She tried to shoot him. He wrestled her from her, killed her. He figured, hey, all the other relatives are now dead. I'm going to go upstairs, grab a hypodermic needle, probably filled with a lethal dosage from morphine because it's the 20s, and tell the Colonel what had happened when he wasn't looking, stab him with the needle, and then tell the coroners that he died of a heart attack after hearing what Lillian had been doing. And that's essentially the plot right now until it resolves after these screens. Unfortunately, I forgot to go up into the attic the second time, which is where you will see Jeeves, the butler, and Fifi, the maid, um, dead on the ground because that bottle that we found in the bathroom had was sleeping pills. I believe it was sleeping pills or sleeping powder, something like that. And it says in the fine print in the bottle, fatal if taken in too large of a dosage. And Lillian had gotten into the decanter. She was probably aware of what they were going to do upstairs because they're in love, and they were going to, meet and put a lethal dosage of it in the bottom, and then put the cognac in there, and they died when they drank it. Yeah, one thing Lillian does do throughout the entire game is that she'll kill the people, but she'll set up crime scenes to make it seem like other people in there were doing it. So she's covering her tracks. She's not just completely psycho going through there with a gun or something killing people. No, she doesn't want to be blamed for it. Anyways, right here, the game ties up with Colonel giving all of his possessions, his plantation, everything to his faithful servant Sally on the right there, with the caveat that she take care of his animals until they're, eventually they die. And then he tells Laura, "Thanks for everything. You can have the old Civil War treasure that was found on the plantation." And then talks to his doge, pets him, and says farewell. She didn't react to the bodies. Unfortunately, dude, I accidentally skipped the scene, the money shot. I told myself I wasn't going to, but she has this really big, um, she has this really spooked face. Like she's looking down and just eyes are open. I would show you, but because of the time, I don't want to have to do it. But yeah, I missed one or two things. So there's all these different things. I'll just go through it individually real quick. Person befriended, Sally wouldn't give her the necklace, take food items, useful items from the bodies of people, people found murdered. Okay, I did find Fifi. Wait, what? Am I tripping out? Oh no, we did find him because we're at the bottom. Yeah, we just didn't. I didn't look at the decanter a second time, or the first time. Yeah, guilty of that, embezzlement, telltale sense. Like when I went into the closet the second time after seeing that scene in Act 4 where Lillian's talking to the colonel, you smell perfume because she's wearing perfume. Romantically involved, wishing it ended a affair, medical history, that's all Gloria, who's an actress. Changed locations, items, ultimate location of the bodies, struggled physically, surprising secret of the colonel because he can actually walk even though they said that he's crippled. Secret passages, and Lillian kills everybody, and the first time we go to the attic. And right here it would say, hey, you actually did it, but, the monocle is a magnifying glass. Oh well, we tried. Anyways, that's Colonel's Bequest, 99% Laura Bow mystery. Thanks for coming out and watching, and yeah, this marathon's almost over, so enjoy the last run. And thanks NASA for having me. Really appreciate it. I'll catch y'all later.